Good day, good morning, good evening, good night. How are you? Welcome to it. It's Breakfast Leftovers. I'm Rose-Leigh-Anne, and we are on a Thursday. Yes, finally Thursday. 5-2 weekend has finally arrived once more. And right here on our podcast is on Thursday, we do a lot of motivation to uplift you and to let you know that don't worry, all the stuff that you wanted to do this week and you didn't complete doing, you still have time to complete it. And even if you don't, it's fine. You have a life, you have things that you can be happy about. You know what I'm saying? So today, I've got Alex Rainbird music. Now, these guys play independent, indie, folk, alternative rock music. And these are artists that are not so known, but they are fantastic. This is Harrison Storm playing right now in the background. And I'll try, by all means, to also let you know what I'm listening to and what you're listening to at the same time. Like I said, I'll try. But what I definitely will do is put up the link so that you can also find them for yourself and then support the music and support the musicians. You know, indie alternative folk rock is still one of my best favorite music of all time. So being Thursday, on a Thursday, today is the 3rd of February 2022. Welcome. Hey, how are you? Are you okay? I hope you're good. I hope you're well. I hope you rested, or I hope you're still going to rest properly. And if you're having lunch, I hope you're enjoying your lunch. I've already eaten because my daughter's around again, and I eat pretty early when she's around. So what we can definitely do is enjoy your lunch if that's what you're doing currently. Now, I'm excited because I'm gonna be talking about something that's very personal to me, and that is relationships. You know, like in life, you're gonna have people that come into your life which are good. You're gonna have people that come into your life that are bad, that literally have nothing. They help you with nothing. All they do is just take from you, and it's very normal. It's very common. So don't worry about that. It's just what people do, you know. It's how they want to treat you. It's not all people, because then you find the gems, you know, the people who are kind and caring, who help you along the way. You have your family and you have your close friends who in dark times they're there to help you and support you in a lot of things that, you know, you want to achieve and you want to do in your course of life. So in my life, it happened, I think it was about 2010, when I had just come out of a really toxic relationship. And it happened that I also had to move out and stuff like that, because, you know, obviously you're going to part ways. Everybody's going to go their own direction. And then it's going to be like self-retrospect as well that was taking place, especially with me at the time. And it was also a change of career in certain elements. And there was just a lot of changes all at once, you know, moving to a new place. I'm sure you found yourself in this situation where you had to leave, you know, a place where you were working, or start a new project, still employed in your own place, in the current place that you are. Or maybe you have to leave and move out, you know, go to greener pastures, and you're not quite sure if really the grass is greener on the other side. And then you also find like you could be in a situation where you're getting out of a relationship, and it's been a bad one, and you're gonna have to start from scratch. And so I was going through a transition in my life where there was gonna be a whole lot of changes. Everything was changing. Every single thing around me was changing. My relationships were changing. The place where I was living was changing. Plus this other added job opportunity. It was all changing all at once. And I found myself in a funny enough, I found myself feeling very positive, because I guess for myself, I've always had this thing that, you know, when one door opens, another one closes. I've always had that, you know, thing in my mind. This is John Bryan playing in the background. So with this change and with my way of thinking, I was excited more than I was scared, because I like change, and I think change is always good, because with change there's always new lessons, and it's always wonderful to learn things because you can initially use them in your everyday life. You understand what I'm saying? So I was with my sister, and she had this book, and I found this book to be quite interesting, because I've heard so many people talk about it. I've heard so many people that said they had read it and all the great things that it did to them and it helped them. And I found this book. It was in my sister's possession. And I found it very ironic, though, because she had had it with her all her life. Even when we were still living together at home, it was there. And I was completely oblivious of it. And I may have heard about it, but it was not in the time of my life where I needed anything from it or I needed to grow from it. You know, sometimes the things you want and need, they could be right underneath your nose, and you completely ignorant to that fact and that reality, you understand? So that was what happened. I found this book and she was like, I've always had it. What are you talking about? And I was like, shut the front door. Serious? I've been looking everywhere for this book because I've heard so many great things about it. I just burped. Excuse me. So it was that thing, like, I got the book, I started reading it, and instantly I was just attracted to it. And instantly I was just moved by everything that was written in this book. And I was really moved by the author of the book itself because she had gone through so much challenges and hardships in her life, and she overcame them. And I think this is what's so wonderful, is that the author is writing about life lessons, and she's writing about all these things that are needed, and she was going through such a tough time in her life, and it was just amazing that she was able to help anybody who was also going through the same situation by reading this book, and even other situations, and even more other important or less important things than maybe to you, but it's in here as well. And she had this struggle to get the people that she found that were on the same wavelength as her, because she was staying in Australia down under, and she really wanted to get into contact with all these people who have the same mindset that she has, and who may know the secrets of life and this whole entire world and our health and our bodies and our minds and everything. So she eventually got that done, and she was able to meet all these people and interview them and get through everything. She managed to finish this in even a shorter time than she had thought it would have taken, when she was struggling to even get out of Australia to get to meet them. And that was just a testament to show that you can do all things. In the Bible it says you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. And in this book it says, it basically testifies to that reality itself. Whereas you can do anything that your mind really wants to achieve. You can do anything that you set your soul and spirit towards. If you have this goal, if you haven't written it down, honestly, write it down, because the moment you write it down, it gets out of your brain and it becomes something that's real and something that you can see. Even though you haven't physically got it, even though it's kind of like not tangible yet, but in reality, it's there. You've got it. It's there. And you can see it. And it's almost, there for the touching. It's literally a step away from the touching. So she put this in this book, and it helps a whole bunch of people out. There's many, many testimonies about people's changed lives just from reading this book. And this book, as of course you've been dying to finally find out what it's called The Secret. And I've had this book in my possession for many, many years. In fact, I gave it to myself. I bought it. It was on the 14th of December in 2014, after I had read it for the first time in 2010. That's 4 years later that I'd read this book. And I thought, you know what? I need to get it. And I was in a mall. I think it was it could have been Westgate Shopping Center. And I saw a couple of people, well, not really a couple of people, a person that had a book stand, had these books stacked up on a table, had a book rack. And it was literally just like in the middle of the, eating section, very, very close to Ocean Basket. And that's exactly where I was going, because I love seafood. Hello. I'm down for seafood. I love seafood so much, it's crazy. So wondering, it's Dustin Tibbet playing in the background right now. So I saw the book stand and I walked up to the person and I said, "Do you have The Secret?" And mind you, it wasn't my intention to buy it. I didn't walk out the house with the mindset of, I'm going to go out of the house and I'm going to buy The Secret. No, 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 no. I literally walked out to do whatever I needed to do. And one of those things was definitely Ocean Basket. So I literally then went up to the guy, said, "Do you have The Secret?" And the gentleman said, "Yes, I do have The Secret." And he said, "Funny enough, lady, you are like very, very lucky. This is on special. It's usually 185 rand. And today it's 135 rand." And literally, I saw there, it was written 185 rand. And as he was giving it to me, he put him, like, he literally took a pen and erased 185 rand and put down there 135. So I managed to purchase it, and that was on the 14th of December 2014. 4 years later. 4 years later, in fact, it's more like 4 years later, 11 months, because I started reading it in January of 2010, you know. So it was very, very cool when I came across it. And I've been reading it and I've been learning some cool things and some stuff I already knew. And I found that it really like worked with, with the Bible, the principles and the technicalities and doing things and the mindsets and the thoughts and moving things forward. Also, still coming up on Breakfast Leftovers. Remember, it's a month of love. And as exciting as the month of love is, we've got Valentine's Day on the 14th. Not so many people celebrate Wellington's Day, as I like to call it. But do you even know where and who Saint Valentine is and how we started to celebrate Valentine's Day? So you better keep tuned on to Breakfast Leftovers, because I'm going to tell you exactly who Saint Valentine is. It could happen today. It could happen tomorrow. It could even happen every single day, just in case you missed a podcast. So while you're at it, on the topic of podcasts, make sure you subscribe, you like, you share, tell all your friends about it. We're all about feeling good. I love food. I'm also a foodie. On other days we give out recipes and we do awesome things like that. Sometimes I could be in an Uber. Sometimes I could be walking in the street. Really, it all just depends on what happens on Breakfast Leftovers. It's never predictable, and it's definitely not like any of the other podcasts that you've seen, because it's not scripted and it's not pre-recorded. It's live, and by pre-record and by me saying it's live, it means that every single thing that I say, it comes out on the podcast. There's no way where I chop and cut some pieces off. It goes out like that, as real as it is. So I found this very exciting, and I found this book very cool, and I find Ocean Basket very delicious. I know. The book reminded me of seafood. Now all I can think about is seafood as I'm talking to you. So if you're eating fish, like, can I please have some? I would like that right now. I get full for like 10 minutes, but if you come like through with something very delicious, I'll probably also eat with you, but I won't eat as much as you, because I did just eat as well. But it would be nice if you share. Sharing is caring. Come on now, sharing is caring. Now, Hello Coves is playing in the background, and so I thought this was very interesting, because a lot of us go through relationships. Like I told you, I'd come out of this very, very toxic relationship, which was not cool. I mean, I was in that relationship for like 2 years, and it was really, really toxic. It was so bad that I was changing. Like, my face was changing. Everything around me had changed, Like, the people I hung out were completely not the same people that I hung out before with. My lifestyle, everything was just different. I didn't have time for family and friends as much as I did before. It was that kind of relationship as well. And it was toxic in other areas, which I prefer not to disclose, because that's super duper personal. But I'm sure, like, if you hunt me down and we get into the chatting, I'll possibly share it with you. Johnny Swan, this one's featuring do Holcomb in the back. It's such an amazing song. Such an amazing song. So anywho, I was in this relationship. I got out of it, and I had found this book that had always been in my home growing up, but finally I had attracted it into my life again when I really, really needed it. And I was very moved by these authors and other people who have been part of this book. For example, Lisa Nichols, all right? Now, Lisa is one of the most amazing, down-to-earth, cool people. She's powerful. She's an advocate of personal empowerment. She's the founder and CEO of Motivating the Masses and Motivating the Teen Spirit. Now, you can imagine what's going on right now. It's 2022. We're hearing about all these teenagers which are committing suicide. We're hearing about teenagers, and it's happening, where they are poisoning one another to get ahead in life, and jealousy. We're hearing teenagers are going to school with swords and knives and stabbing the child that they don't like. We're hearing teenagers going to school with guns and shooting teachers. It's terrifying. So you can imagine that the problem is it's not exactly them. The problem is what they're doing, but the reason why they're doing it, and that is a problem. That is the real issue. So I love the fact that she's really focusing a lot on teenagers and the teen spirit, which is 2 comprehensive skills programs that are actually working to bring about profound change in the lives of teenagers, women, and entrepreneurs. I mean, a lot of young women, specifically teenagers, are mothers now. And you can imagine, like, still being a child, and then now you have to take on this responsibility of another human being. That's very difficult. That's very deep. And I applaud her on this. Huge, big shout out to Lisa Nichols. And she also helps entrepreneurs as well as provide services to the educational system, corporate clients, empowerment organizations, faith-based programs. I mean, Lisa is actually the co-author of Chicken Soup for the African American Soul, and it's best-selling worldwide series. And you can find out everything about her, all the stuff that she's doing, by going onto her website, which is www.lisa-nichols.com. It's nichols.com. So www.lisa-nichols.com. Now, she said something very interesting, and it really resonated with me, and it resonated with a lot of beings, and I'm sure it'll resonate with you as well. And this is Lisa personally saying, okay, so just imagine myself as Lisa Nichols, because I don't know how she sounds like, and she's obviously an American woman, and I don't think I can, totally do an American accent. But she says that I got into many relationships expecting my partner to show me my beauty. How many times do us women honestly want people to validate our beauty? Even guys. How many of you guys feel like I need somebody to tell me that I'm handsome, I'm good looking, I'm a charmer, and so forth? So she goes on to say, because I didn't see my own beauty. When I was growing up, my heroes or my sheroes were the Bionic Woman, Wonder Woman, Charlie's Angels. And while they're wonderful, they didn't look like me. And how many of us actually, when we look at our heroes and we see that as well? It's breakfast leftovers, so there's going to be chewing going on. There's going to be eating going on, because that's what we do. That's what I do. I eat with you. I chill with you. I'm free with you. So right now, I've got a glass of ice, which is my favorite thing in the whole entire world. And it's the hardest thing to to talk within your mouth, because while you're talking, it's melting in the process and it fills up your mouth. It's very funny. But anyways, how many of us has that happened to, where like the person that you really, really look up to is looking nothing like you? They don't resemble you whatsoever. No, it's the hair. It's not the hair. It's not the facial attributes, not even the body. It's like there's nothing. You come from completely different worlds. You come from different upbringings. Maybe you're black and your hero's white. Maybe your hero is American and you are from London. There's all these things, like many things that you see in them that you like, because of what they're doing, and it excites you, and it's like, yeah, that's so cool, those are my heroes, but they don't resemble you. So what Lisa was saying is, it wasn't until that she fell in love with herself. And she goes on to say, I fell in love with my mocha skin, my full lips, my round hips, my curly black hair. And it wasn't until that happened that the rest of the world was able to fall in love with me as well. Now, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. As beautiful as Beta Radio playing in the background. We need to love ourselves. Besides loving each other, which is obviously something we also should be doing generally, but we need to love ourselves. Self-love is really important. It is the most important thing of all, because you cannot be able to expect somebody to love you when you yourself don't even love yourself. And when I came out of this relationship, I was loving myself. The reason why I got out of this relationship is because I actually loved myself, and I felt like I couldn't be in this toxic-ish anymore because it's not good for me. And me staying in here, it means I don't love myself. Sometimes you have to leave a job, and be jobless because the job is weighing down on you. It's hurting you. It's really, really distracting your mentality, yourself, everything that you believe in, and truly, harnesses important to you. It destroys all of that completely, and you have to leave. And you have to leave because you love yourself. If you find yourself in a situation in your life where you have to make that hard decision of sticking around because of the people around you, or you're going to get out of there because you love yourself, you respect yourself. Are you that honest to yourself to tell yourself that? And we need to get to that point in our lives where we are that honest, that we literally tear off every single thing that is just hanging on us. Those leeches, we take them off, blood and all. As scary as it is and as painful as it's gonna feel, they just need to come off us. They need to get out of us. They need to leave our lives. They need to be out of our system. And that's exactly what happened with me. And that's probably what you're going through. And maybe it's something that is still within you, and you're still deciding, do I leave? Should I stay? But you don't have to leave because of you not loving yourself. Maybe there's also some things inside in that toxicity where you feel like if you can change it, then it could be better for you to actually live within. And if you can do that, do so. We don't have to always cut and run, because that's also very dangerous. Cutting and running is also dangerous, because when you cut and run, you find that you cut also your soul, and you start being confused. You start not knowing what's going on with yourself. You start not knowing yourself personally and emotionally, and you become dead even to the people around you, because the moment you get into the habit of cutting and running, you're going to end up running to people who genuinely care about you, and you're not even going to recognize that, and it's not going to be genuine to you because you are so disattached. You're unattached to it, and it's just, yes, I totally create my own words, and you can copy them, I don't mind. You become that person who's just lost all sense of reality, honestly, and you don't have a timeline that is conclusive, that concludes to something that creates you into a better person. Instead, you just always running away. Don't do that. Like, honestly, don't cut and run unless, of course, it's really detrimental for you to do so. You understand? So in some cases, you can cut and run, because it's a matter of life and death. But in a situation where you know you can change, you can make it work for you, you can be better at it, don't do it. It's Indolor playing in the background. Now, I was really moved by these words from Lisa Nichols. We find that we stick around in things because we find our value. We think that our value is within them, but we completely forget that the value is us. It's not in something. The value is you. Do you get what I'm saying? In a company which you're working in, you may find that the company is very valuable because, yes, you can eat because of the money that they give you. Yes, you can drive a nice car because of what they're giving you. Yes, you get to travel because of the allowances within the company and the job that you're doing. But that's not the valuable thing. The valuable thing is you within that company. You, the valuable person in that company. And it's just like that in a relationship. In a relationship, you are the most valuable thing in that relationship. So within every single relationship, note to self, honestly, give it all. Give it all. Give everything you have within you and just do the best in your relationship. Because even if it doesn't work out, the nice thing is you're never going to look back and say, oh, I should have done this better. I would have, then that's really bad and it's really harsh and it's really a dampener on your soul because you can't go back to it because you might find that that person has moved on in their life without you and you're still stuck on that and it becomes a thorn in your foot for the rest of your life. So in every single thing that you do, you are valuable. And make sure that you add that value in every single thing that you do. Add more of you in every single thing that you are doing. So now, as I said, we're motivating on Thursday. It's Breakfast Leftovers. I'm Rose-Leigh-Anne. And this happens every single day. Every single day, yes, it happens. So currently, the technical team, by technical team, I'm talking about Martin, working with Martin Van Zale. He's so awesome. So we're still working on some stuff that we're going to put up and it's going to be all nice and visual for you. So even if you're getting this as episode 3 for the YouTube series, because we started with a different series before this. But you can check that out. All the stuff will be on the socials as well. I'm on Facebook, Rose-Leigh-Anne. I'm on Twitter, Rose-Leigh-Anne1. I'm all over the show. There's also the group on Facebook, Rose-Leigh-Anne on Breakfast Leftovers. Check it out as well. Comment. Let me know what you like, what you dislike. Comment, like, subscribe, share. Do the right thing. And I really appreciate whatever you do. I said do. So anywho, I feel like ice. I want to get into this very cool story, but I want some ice first. And you know how hard it is for me to talk with ice at the same time. So this is all faces playing while I put some ice in me. Wow. I don't know about it, but ice just hits the spot. Like, you just don't understand. It just really hits the spot for me. Now, this is very cool. I found this from Nolene, a friend of mine on Facebook. I haven't seen her in a minute, but because of Facebook, what's nice is I get to see her face all the time. And she shared the story, and obviously I'm going to summarize it and give it the breakfast leftover Rose-Leigh-Anne touch. You understand? So there was this man, and he had a daughter, and he said to the daughter, when you finish high school, you're gonna go to college, and we're gonna sell a car, and then you're gonna buy a new one. You understand? So it was like, oh, great, awesome. So she did well. She passed in everything. Yeah, Nolene, I'm totally giving it my own spin. So, it was like, Dad, I passed, and Dad was like, yay, Veronica, you passed. I'm so proud of you. And she was like, yeah, daddy. So he was like, okay, as promised, you're gonna get a car. So we've got that old car. I want you to go sell it. So you must go down to the mechanics and find out how much they offering for it. You understand? So Veronica's all excited and she, tows the car to they actually come through, and they come through and they look at it and they say, oh, okay, well, this car is clearly old and the parts are damaged and some of them are, broken and they're gonna need fixing. So basically what we can give you for this is 10,000 rand. And she goes home. She goes back into the house and waits for dad to come back from work. And dad comes back from work and she's like, dad, the guys, they said that it's 10,000 rand. And I checked another one on the internet and they said it was 9,000 that they could offer. So the dad was like, okay, no, go check in the pawn shop and see how much they're gonna, offer you for it. And that's exactly what she did. She went into pawn shop, showed them the picture of the car, and they were like, whoa, this car's old. It doesn't really work so well. The parts, similar to the mechanics. And then they said, you know what, because there's so much work here and we're also going to struggle in finding these parts, as you can see, we don't exactly have a lot of cars laying around. So what we can do is offer you 1,000 rand for this car. So Veronica goes back home and she tells her dad, like, dad, went to the pawn shop and they said that they can give us 1,000 rand for the car. So father's like, oh, okay, well, okay, well, I don't know. That's not gonna get you any car actually. So she's like, well, I heard there's some guys that are coming from this antique special thing, and they deal with cars, automobiles and whatnot. So I'm gonna go there and maybe you can come with me, dad, because we might see other cool cars and it's like also a nice car show. So let's also go check out some cool vehicles and stuff like that. So Veronica goes with her father and they go to the place and they show the picture to the guys, which are, also part of the guys that make the cars, and they repaint, they restructure, they redo everything. And the guys looked at him and said, what? This is actually a classic. This is an antique. You understand what I'm saying? Wow. They were like so blown away. And they're like, you know what? Like, we'll give you 100,000 rands for this car. Obviously overjoyed, jumping up and down and excited because she's going to get a very, very nice car when she goes off to college or university, whatever Veronica chose to go to. A father comes back and at home while they're chilling and having supper on the dinner table, and says, Veronica, with just like this car, you might find yourself in a place and people don't see your value. They don't see your value at all. They don't appreciate you. You're unappreciated. And you may go to another place and people might like you, they might welcome you and invite you and give you food and drinks and really laugh and have a good time. But whatever you say and do, really, to them, it's not so important. They don't really appreciate you as that way. They don't value you still. It doesn't mean that you're invaluable. No, it just means that those two places are not where you're supposed to be. So you need to make sure that you find yourself in a place where they do value you, where they value you so much that even if you're not there with them, they miss you and they need you and they always want to be with you and they call up on you and they check up on you. Be valuable. So it's not about you. There's nothing wrong with you. And this is what I'm saying to you as well. There's nothing wrong with you. It doesn't matter how this person is treating you, or that person is belittling you, or that person is doing what. It doesn't matter anything. Like, truly speaking, they don't matter a zip. The thing that truly, truly matters is you at the end of the day. Remember, I keep telling you this. You're important and you need to love yourself. And you need to be in a place where you are valued. There's nothing wrong with you. They don't see the value in you. So find people that see the value in you. Find people who actually care about you. Find people who acknowledge you and just want to be with you all the time. And when you find those people, hold on to them. And also find things in them that you value. Don't turn this into a thing about ego. Like, yeah, I'm so loved. I'm wanted there. I'm special. No, don't make it like that. Don't be like that. Don't be a dada head, okay? Be a smart, valuable person. Go to places where you are valuable. Give to those that find your value. For example, I find value in Alex Rainbird music. They do Wanderlust podcasts, more like mixes and playlists on YouTube. So I really like them. This is Bassword, and it's called Sundays. Very cool, right? Very cool. So find your value, as I value these guys over here. And even more. Because you are valuable. You are important. You matter. You're a substance that was created by the Lord God Almighty. And He valued you and put you here perfectly with His character. So you're God. You understand what I'm saying? You're God in you. So find yourself valuable. Care about yourself. And make sure that you live a life that's completely healthy, wholesome, and amazing. Now, Lisa Nichols once said, when you follow your bliss, you live in a constant space of joy. You open yourself to the abundance of the world, of universe, of everything. Obviously, I'm ad-libbing. And you're excited to share your life with those you love. And your excitement, your passion, your bliss, they become contagious. So let's make our excitements and our passion and our bliss contagious to the people that we love. All the people that are in our lives that are close to us. All the people that find value in us. And again, you can find Lisa Nichols on the internet on www.lisa-nichols.com. It's been awesome. It's been wonderful. It's fantastic. Andrew and Vida, this one's called Alive. I'll give you just a little bit of it. A little bit. Not too much. A little bit. Because we need to be alive. And that's the name of this song. It's Breakfast Leftovers. I'm Rose-Leigh-Anne. Have a fantastic, wonderful, blissful, exciting, listen to me, and be contagious. Have an effect on people, but more importantly, have a great effect on yourself. Ciao.